Jai Sitaram. Balakand, chapter 23. We are going through a detailed study about the Suprabhata verse of Lord Rama. Kaushalya Supraja Rama Purva Sandhya Pravartate Uttishta Narashardula Kartavyam daivamahnikam. In the previous section, we completed Purva Sandhya Pravartate, wherein the sun that rises in the east is looking forward to waking up the Supreme Lord, whose eyes are like lotus petals. And Uttishta means wake up, and Narashardula is the best amongst men, the bravest, the brightest, the crown jewel of all men. Now we are going to look into the final phrase, kartavyam daivamahnikam. So, kartavyam means tasks that are required to be done. And daivamahnikam means oblations to the gods or religious rites that are to be performed every day at the fixed hour. So these are basically daily tasks that have to be performed. Now, it is imperative for us to understand that the Lord has no duty and yet he loves to protect his devotees. Sage Visvamitra came begging at his door for shelter. Although Visvamitra is more than capable of killing Subahu and Maricha and Tataka and all the other Rakshasas and protect his own yajna, he wanted the glory of killing the demons to go to Lord Rama. And this statement is confirmed by Sage Vashishta himself. We have already looked into that in the previous chapters. After the annihilation of the demons, the Lord removes the curse of Ahilya, and then he goes to Mithila. Everywhere he goes, he brings about happiness. His devotees are happy to serve him, and he is happy to see his devotees. So even though Visvamitra is more than capable of protecting himself, he nonetheless seeks Rama's help because Visvamitra craved to be with Rama and serve him as his guru. So the sage begs Rama to protect his devotees. As simple as that. Now, the Lord does not have any duty and yet he performs his activities flawlessly, because whatever a great man does, the common people follow. In Bhagavad Gita 3.21, Lord Krishna has said, Yad yad acharati shreshthas tat tad evataro jana sayat pranamam kurte lokas tat anuvartate. Whatever action a great man performs, common men follow, and whatever standards he sets by exemplary acts, all the world pursues. In the purport, it is mentioned, people in general always require a leader who can teach the public by practical behavior. A leader cannot teach the public to stop smoking if he himself smokes. Srimad Bhagavatam also affirms that one should follow in the footsteps of great devotees, and that is the way of progress on the path of spiritual realization. The king or the executive head of a state, the father and the school teacher are all considered to be natural leaders of the innocent people in general. All such natural leaders have a great responsibility to their dependents. Therefore, they must be conversant with standard books of moral and spiritual codes. And in the next verse, that is Bhagavad Gita 3.22, Lord Krishna says, Name parthasti kartavyam trishu lokeshu kinchana nanavaptam avaptavyam varta eva cha karmani. O son of Pritha, there is no work prescribed for me within all the three planetary systems, nor am I in want of anything, nor have I a need to obtain anything, and yet I am engaged in prescribed duties. The purport is as follows. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is described in the Vedic literatures as follows. Tam Ishvaranam Paramam Maheshwaram, Tam Devatanam Paramam Cha Daivatam, Patim Patinam Paramam Parastad, Vidama Devam Bhuvanesham Ideyam, Natasya Karyam Karanam Cha Vidyate, Natat Samaschabhyadikascha Drishyate, Parasya Shaktir Vividhaiva Shruyate, Svabhaviki Jnana Bala Kriyacha. The Supreme Lord is the controller of all other controllers, and He is the greatest of all the diverse planetary leaders. Everyone is under His control. All entities are delegated with particular power only by the Supreme Lord. They are not supreme themselves. He is also worshipable by all demigods and is the supreme director of all directors. Therefore, He is transcendental to all kinds of material leaders and controllers and is worshipable by all. There is no one greater than Him, and He is the supreme cause of all causes. He does not possess a bodily form like that of an ordinary living entity. There is no difference between His body and His soul. He is absolute. All His senses are transcendental. Any one of His senses can perform the action of any other sense. Therefore, no one is greater than Him nor equal to Him. His potencies are multifarious, and thus His deeds are automatically performed as a natural sequence. Shvetashvatara Upanishad 6.7 and 8. Since everything is in full opulence in the personality of Godhead and is existing in full truth, there is no duty for the Supreme Personality of Godhead to perform. One who must receive the results of work has some designated duty, but one who has nothing to achieve within the three planetary systems certainly has no duty. And yet, Lord Krishna is engaged on the battlefield of Kurukshetra as a leader of the Kshatriyas because the Kshatriyas are duty-bound to give protection to the distressed. Although he is above all regulations of the revealed scriptures, he does not do anything that violates the revealed scriptures. In the next verse, Sri Krishna says, Yadi hi aham na varteyam jatu karmani atandrita mama vartamanu vartante manushya partha sarvashah. For if I ever fail to engage in carefully performing prescribed duties, O Partha, certainly all men would follow my path. In the purport, it is mentioned, in order to keep the balance of social tranquility for progress in spiritual life, there are traditional family usages meant for every civilized man. Although such rules and regulations are for the conditioned souls and not Lord Krishna, because he descended to establish the principles of religion, he followed the prescribed rules. Otherwise, common men would follow in his footsteps, because he is the greatest authority. From the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is understood that Lord Krishna was performing all the religious duties at home and out of home as required of a householder. And in 3.24, Lord Krishna says, Utsi deyur ime loka na kuryam karma ched aham sankarasya cha kartasyam upahanyam imah praja. If I did not perform prescribed duties, all these worlds would be put to ruination. I would be the cause of creating unwanted population, and I would thereby destroy the peace of all living beings. Now, let us apply these principles in kartavyam daivamahnikam phrase of this beautiful Suprabhata verse. If the Lord were to act lazy and just dozed off, then common people would follow that too. Therefore, Visvamitra asks Rama to wake up and set the ideal for all mankind to follow, because he is, after all, Narashardula, the best of men. So this is more of a prayer rather than just a simple statement. Visvamitra is praying to the Lord, praying that he wake up, praying that he do his duty towards his devotees. even though he is above all regulative principles, even though he is not in want of anything, even though he does not have to obtain anything, he has to engage in the prescribed duties because he has to set the example. Not only is Rama a Kshatriya prince, but he is also the source of happiness to everyone around him. As we will learn in the subsequent chapters, Rama has this amazing ability to enchant everyone who meets him. And the citizens of Ayodhya loved Rama more than they loved their own family members. And this is very clearly stated by sage Valmiki in Ayodhya Kand. When Rama went off to the forest, a mother did not love her son anymore. A husband did not love his wife anymore. Brothers did not love their brothers anymore because all of them loved Rama more than any other relationship that they can have. And therefore, if Rama were to not set that example, the entire pious Ayodhya-vasis would all not follow a good example. So that the bhaktas can continue to remain bhaktas. So that the pious can continue to remain pious. Sage Visvamitra says, "Oh Rama, won't you please wake up?" And he does that in this very beautiful shloka. Kaushalya Supraja Rama Purva Sandhya Pravartate Uttishta Narashardula Kartavyam daivamahnikam. Now, daivamahnikam means duty to the devas. This is the first layer of understanding. But the devatas are not the supreme. So why exactly is Visvamitra asking Rama to pray to the devas? That is not really his goal. So we can do our morning prayers to the multiple devas, or we can understand who the supreme deva is and offer prayers to him. In Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, chapter 25, verse 38, Kapila Muni says, "Nakar hichin mat para shanta rupe, nakshayanti no me nimisho ledhi heti, yesham aham priya atma sutascha sakha guru suhrido daivamishtam." The Lord continued, "My dear mother, devotees who receive such transcendental opulences are never bereft of them. Neither weapons nor the change of time can destroy such opulence. Because the devotees accept me as their friend, their relative, their son, preceptor, benefactor, and supreme deity, they cannot be deprived of their possessions at any time." So, Kapila Muni, who Srimad Bhagavatam very clearly states is an incarnation of the Supreme Lord, says that he is a supreme deity, that is Daivam. In any form of life, we are related with Vishnu, who is the most beloved, the super soul, son, friend, and guru. Our eternal relationship with God can be revived in the human form of life, and that should be the goal of education. Indeed, that is the perfection of life and the perfection of education. In Srimad Bhagavatam 10.85.35, it is mentioned, "Tasmin pravishtav upalabhya daityarad vishvatma daivam sutaram tatatmana tad darshana lada pariplutashyaya sadhya samutaya nanama sanvaya." When the king of the Daityas, Bali Maharaja, noticed the arrival of the two lords, his heart overflowed with joy, since he knew them to be the Supreme Soul and the worshipable deity of the entire universe, and especially of himself. He immediately stood up and then bowed down to offer respects along with his entire entourage. So here also the term Daivam is translated as the Supreme Deity. And in certain other places in Srimad Bhagavatam, Daivam is translated as providence or fate, but we can rule out that particular translation in this context. As we know, Sanskrit has certain terms that change the meaning per the context. And over here, this is definitely not providence or fate that sage Visvamitra is asking Rama to bow down to. Sage Visvamitra is asking Lord Rama to wake up at dawn and offer prayers to the Supreme Lord so that he can set an ideal for the rest of the world to follow. In the next statement, we will learn that Rama wakes up and he performs his duty because he plays the part of the disciple of sage Visvamitra, and therefore he plays that part to perfection because that is one of his chief roles in Bala, the part of a disciple and of course the son and later the husband of Mother Sita. In the next section, we will continue with the journey of the Lord and further history of Kamashrama. Jai Sita Ram.